And thank you for joining us for the Grade 12 Option Experience overview. I am Dr. Michelle Perez.
And I am Tracy Amadeo, and we are the dual enrollment school counselors for the Morris County Vocational School District Grade 12 Option Experience. Today, we're going to have a nice overview for you that is going to review what senior year could look like for your child. And we invite you to take notes, hit pause, and what we will do for your benefit is turn our camera off. So you don't have to look at us the whole time. You can focus on all the content. So we'll come back and rejoin you when we're done. But for now, grab a notebook and we'll see you in a little bit. Okay, here we go. All right, so here you've met these people before. These are our VIPs. Athena Borzica is our Director of Student Services and Special Education. You met with her and Scott Shaw, the Director of CTE, to review all of the stipulations for the grade 12 option experience. And Mark Menadier, of course, is our school principal.
And here are your school counselors at the Denville campus. You have myself and Mrs. Amadeo, Miss Dillon, Miss Brooks, Miss Katz, and Mr. Ward.
And just to note that your child has a school counselor of record, and that guidance counselor is going to be either Marissa Dillon, Jen Katz, Ashley Brooks, or Steve Ward. And Dr. Perez and I collaborate with those school counselors for the benefit of your child. Oh, there's a lot of information on this page. That's okay though. So we wanted to put this information for you together because we want to show you kind of the scope of the Morris County Vocational School District. Our focus today is going to be in the left-hand column, the Denville Full-Time Academies, the Denville campus. So Morris County School of Technology, your child is in one of our academies on the Denville campus. That middle column, just know we also have students from those satellite academies who participate in the grade 12 option as well. And we even have share time programs at the community colleges.
Okay, so this is your senior year. The graduation requirements are English 12, grade 12 health and physical education, an academy course, and the structured learning experience. And these are going to take place as dual courses. Dual meaning you'll receive, or your child will receive, two transcripts, one from Morris County School of Technology and one from the grade 12 partner college. And it's important to please keep in mind that this program is individualized, it's scholarship, and it's designed specifically for MCSD students. And all students who are accepted into the program are expected to adhere to MCSD's policies and guidelines, which Ms. Borzica and Mr. Shaw probably went over with you when they discussed the contract.
There's a lot of information on this slide as well, but we're going to teach you two different languages here. We're going to teach you, we're already gained fluency in our high school language, and then we have the college language. So let's take a look at what you already know about high school. You know that all of the courses are delivered over 4 marking periods, which are about 10 weeks each. Well, in college, it's a lot different. The curriculum is set up where it's 2 semesters, a fall and a spring, and those semesters are just 15 or 16 weeks each. And our calendar is a lot different as well, because we start in high school September and we finish up in June. But in college, we're starting in late August. We're going to continue through mid-December. Then you're going to have about 4 weeks off, and then pick up the spring semester, January through May, and have some time way before we walk in that cap and gown. So as we're going through these, just keep in mind, high school language, high school world, college language, college world.
Move on to the amount of credits that your child receives per course at high school is 5. However, in college, it's going to be 2.5 high school credits per course transcribed on their high school transcript. And college credits can range anywhere from 1 to 4 credits per course. And this is going to be on their permanent college transcript. So your child will have 2 transcripts, as I stated before, high school and college.
All right. And because of the calendar, attendance is going to be a lot different in high school versus college as well. Typically in college, more than 3 absences is going to reduce your your grade, the final grade, because if you think about it, if the class is only running for 15 or 16 weeks and a student misses one class, exponentially, there's big damage there. I've read a lot of syllabi, and the professors will say they don't really care if it's excused or unexcused. You're allowed 3 times to be absent, or maybe 4 times. But in any event, it's just a lot different from high school, where you are looking at a lot more absences, a lot more flexibility. Doctor's notes excuse things. In the college world, it is absolutely much different. Certainly, if you have an illness, you're supposed to, the student is going to be notifying their professor. If there's extended illnesses or kind of injury, we go to the Office of Accessibility Services, which is the next line. In the high school world, when we talk about 504s and IEPs, for special education, IDEA laws are the governing body of compliance when it comes to special education. And we use ADA for 504s. In college, we just use ADA, and the level of support is much less than you'll see in high school. There's no in-class support teacher. There's no retaking of tests. There's a lot of differences. So I encourage all my families who have children with IEPs to connect with your case manager to have that discussion about what college is going to look like for your child.
In high school, there are more data points for final grade averages versus in college, where there are less data points, meaning that there are probably less assignments, less tests, less exams. Some teachers may only have a midterm and a final and no extra credit. Other classes may have just a paper or a final paper that they have to submit for a grade. So it's important to keep in mind and stay on top of the syllabus so that you know exactly how many assignments you have for that final grade average. There's also going to be less or no
Non-zero
contact between parent and professor. Your child has to advocate for themselves. We will advocate for them as well. However, there's not going to be, a professor calling and saying your child missed class today or your child missed an assignment, as there may be in high school.
Right. Well, guess what? We're not calling either because we don't even know. We won't know if your kid's not going to class every day. We will not know. So it's just a huge difference from high school. So there's zero contact, the professor to home to you.
And if your child is lucky, the teacher or the professor, I'm sorry, may use Blackboard and may keep that updated, but there's also chances that they will not keep it updated. So it's definitely the responsibility of your child to make sure that they stay on top of their grades.
Yeah, I think you shouldn't be missing class anyway, by the way. If you look at the schedule, the very last line there, in high school world, we're very in the box with our rigid schedule, Monday through Friday, 8 to 3. But in college, your kid may end up having a class like once a week for 3 hours, or maybe Monday and Thursdays for an hour and a half, and that's it. Maybe they have their Fridays off completely. That is something that is out of our control. All of the classes, we demand that they are in-person classes, but as far as what times they meet and what days they meet, there's great flexibility and variety.
And please keep in mind, we'll definitely remind your child once it's time for them to start scheduling their courses. They have to schedule their courses around their extracurricular activities, around their work schedule, around any other responsibilities that they may have, because that attendance is very important. And the professor is not going to say, "Oh, it's fine, you can leave for your soccer." No, that's fine, you can leave for, because of work. You have to make sure that your butt is in the seat.
Yep, absolutely, absolutely. And again, they're prescriptive, scholarship courses. We want you need to get your high school diploma first, child. So we will tell you exactly what courses to take. Look at all these colleges. Look at all these logos. Well, let's start at the top left, everybody. So the Titans, CCM. CCM is our #1 most solid college partner. And when we're speaking to you today, we're speaking through the lens of CCM. Could your child end up at a different college partner? Yes, they could. Should they? I don't know. We're going to get to that because really it depends on the year. Every year, colleges either step up and give us the support we need, or they have some issues with faculty and staffing and they don't give us the support we need. So we don't engage with them for that curricular year. And then also with these different college partners, it's based on the academies as well. Not all academies have curricula that aligns to what the college is offering. So while we may have connections with all of these fine institutions, we're so lucky where we live, we may not be actively engaged in offering the grade 12 options experience at that college partner for any particular year. Oh, you have to get good grades
Okay.
too, by the way.
To qualify for the grade 12 option program, to attend CCM full-time, your child must
Have a 2.95 GPA or above. However, if they do not, they can attend part-time, meaning part-time for their academy only. However, to attend other partner colleges, the GPA must be a 3.5 or above. And they also have standardized test scores that have to be taken into consideration for onboarding and accepting.
I know some of your parents, some of you just freaked out a little bit inside when you heard Dr. Perez say standardized test scores like SAT or ACT. Just know that many schools are test optional, right? But we're talking about early college programs. We're taking high school students who do not yet have their high school diploma and putting them in college. Therefore, even if a school is test optional, they still need standardized test scores, and we need standardized test scores for making sure a student is actually ready to take a bite of that college curricular apple, so to speak. So please know that there is testing involved. Oh, speaking of testing, our least favorite slide.
So your child will take a test called the AccuPlacer, which is a College Board test. And this is a chart that CCM uses and that we use so that you can understand your placement. So this does not have to do with being accepted into the program. This has to do with being placed into math or science courses. So you're going to take the AccuPlacer at some point. We'll give you a window when that can be done. However, if you have SAT or ACT scores, you can look at the left column. For entry-level math, that's math or liberal arts, where that course only progresses to probability and stats. Entry level for that is 560, 23 on your ACT, 560 for your math, or an AccuPlacer QAS score of a 250 to a 275. Then for college algebra, prob and stats, you see that the number goes up a little bit. You have to have at least a 276 on the QAS and a 560 math or a 23 in your ACT. However, for your higher level math classes like your pre-calc and your Calc 1, they do not take into consideration your SAT or ACT score. That is placement is going to be solely based on your AccuPlacer AAF score, which you can see is a 250 to a 275 for pre-calc and a 276 to a 300 on your analytical geometry and Calc 1. It's important to keep in mind also that this is for your math or science placement, and CCM does not care what math you're in at MCST, what math you're going to be in at MCST. It's solely going to be based on these scores. So if you're in honors pre-calc at MCST, it doesn't mean that you can take calc at CCM.
Correct. It's not sequential. And again, this is because we are early college students and we need to use standardized tests to kind of norm and standardize the different academic abilities.
Mm-hmm.
So we follow the college rules here with all of our college partners. So don't
And the scores,
This is a messenger.
and of course, our scores may vary by partner college. So this
right.
is
Correct. Oh, I love this slide because it's animated. So what a great option. You could just stay at the Denville campus all day. Grade 12 option, full day at the high school. Take care of your structured learning experience. There's something to be said about having a traditional senior year high school experience. So absolutely a consideration. Or you could head over to spend your entire senior year at one of our college partners, where you will take 2 semesters. You'll take a fall semester and a spring semester. These are the courses that we require of you. We require you take English Comp, we take a health, a math. You don't need to take a math. We highly suggest it. And you, of course, take your English, your academy specific course, one in the fall and one in the spring. We pay for 24 credits. There are some fees involved with some of the other college partners. That does vary by year as well. We will pay for your tuition. You pay for everything else. You pay for your books, your supplies, any additional fees that may be incurred or embedded in the tuition. In some cases, CCM does this. It's actually a good thing. They'll buy e-textbooks. They call it courseware. They'll buy it in bulk and they'll embed it in the tuition bill. Well, guess what? We're not paying for that, guys. You have to pay for that. So we will actually extract that number and we will bill you for any of the courseware that that you're accidentally billed for from CCM. So you will pay for your textbooks. And don't forget, you're getting dual enrollment courses here. You're getting your high school graduation credit requirements taken care of, and you're also building a permanent college transcript. And I think we talked about a little bit earlier about following that college calendar. So you're going to have, this is by semesters now. So my family vacations are going to be all off. If you have a child in a different school who has a certain week off and we don't, so just really plan accordingly. Lots of moving parts, lots of family calendar collaboration and calibration needed.
There's also a hybrid option where you can take your academy course at CCM. This is a CCM option only. Your child will take their morning classes at the high school, and they can schedule their academy course after 12:30 to make sure that they can get to CCM on time for their courses. And we are so sorry that the bottom says fall 24, spring 25. It should be fall 25, spring 26.
Oh, your kids are graduating in 2026. It's great. All right, so if you look at this graphic, it covers all the who, what, when, where, why, how. The deadline for all the information to be solid up, ready to go for the next school year is June. So we like to have it by like the first week in June. Above that oval deadline graphic there, those are all your options. You could spend the full day at the high school. You can do CCM full-time or part-time academy only. Our college partners will come into the game as we progress through the school year, if they're available, if we approve them, if they are worthy enough, if they show us that we have enough academic support over there and courses that are aligned with the needs of our students. And below that, there's a lot of moving parts here. There's AccuPlacer testing, February, March, we're starting to roll those out. Ms. Borzika will have that information for you as our testing coordinator. Contracts, applications, we're going to have them due in January. Health forms and vaccinations, depending on the college partner, that will vary. Registration and scheduling, you have Dr. Perez and me collaborating with school counselors, collaborating with the college, collaborating with curriculum. Office of Accessibility Services refers to the special education needs of your child. Please save the date for summer orientations. They pop all throughout the summer. Additional testing may be necessary for world languages, or maybe you want to take an advanced math course and you are retesting for AccuPlacer. We do allow that for one-time retest. GPA requirements, all of that we very, very carefully vet during the admissions process. And FERPA waivers, you will be asked to sign. They're embedded in the contract. That is legally so that our people can talk on behalf of your child to the colleges. So that's all important nuggets of information for you. Lots of information here too.
Okay.
Go through it fast, we promise you.
Things to remember. You're responsible for your own transportation. That means your child is responsible to get to and from the partner college. You are responsible for textbooks and e-textbooks, as Ms. Amadeo said before. Your child is responsible for scheduling and dropping courses. Now, this is very important. We began onboarding for CCM prior to onboarding for our partner colleges, usually. So your child may have a CCM schedule, and let's say they're going to FDU or Montclair, and they may have an FDU or Montclair schedule later on down the road. If they do choose to go to another partner college that's not CCM, it is their responsibility to make sure that they drop their courses. We see sometimes that students forget to drop them, and then they're billed from CCM while they're attending FDU, Montclair, somewhere else. So it's important to keep in mind that if you are attending a different partner college, that you drop your CCM schedule.
Yeah, unless you want to pay for it. But no, you definitely don't want to get stuck with the tuition bill. Number 4, you want to pass those grades, of course. If you don't pass, guess what? Your family owes the tuition for the the money we paid for that course. So if you fail a course or you withdraw a course under any circumstances, you have to pay that tuition back. I know it happened. It happens. It does. Hopefully it won't happen to you, but there's about, I don't know, maybe 5 of you, 6 of you, it'll happen to. So you are treated, my students, your children are treated as college students, and professors do not know that you are in high school. They don't know that. But actually they do. And here's why. Because our students are standouts. Dr. Perez and I get professors come in our office all the time to introduce themselves from all different departments, and they consistently tell us how impressed they are with our students. So thank you for that, because that started in your house. So we appreciate that. We're really proud of these kids. Graduation, we have to get your gremlins through high school first. So we will tell you what to take, kids, and those kids will take it. If you want to take extra courses, of course, that's on you, but we are going to make sure you take those graduation requirements.
There's also far less support at the partner colleges. There's more support here at CCM because myself and Ms. Amadeo are here. However, we can't be more than one space at a time.
We can't.
So we do not have
Spaces at FDU, Montclair, William Patterson. We leave that to the advisors over there to be able to help your child. There's no Genesis.
no technical.
No, you're checking nothing. You are checking nothing.
You're maybe lucky if the instructor does keep Blackboard updated, but some of them do and some of them don't. So it's your child's responsibility to stay on top of their grades and their assignments.
Right. Now, number 8, college has less grade events in high school. So I think about when I used to be a teacher 1,000 years ago, a miracle would happen where a kid would have a C in the middle of the marking period, and all of a sudden they would kick into gear. And by the 4th marking period and the end of the year, or by the end of the marking period, they end up with an A. It was magic. It was 8th grade, so that's another whole story. But there's not a lot of grade events in college. So we're talking about 4, 5, 6 grades that factor into their entire final grade over 15 weeks. So that transition in itself, we're talking about a very quick rate of instruction. The pace is very fast. You're jumping on that treadmill at 5, and just not a lot of opportunities to build that final grade. And when it comes to those classes, please know that we know you may most likely are also applying to a 4-year school next year. So different college admissions departments will require different high school courses on that transcript for an admissions decisions based on what your kid wants to major in, where they want to attend. So that's also on you. So please be aware of that. Most 4-year schools are looking for 4 years of math. State of New Jersey, you only need 3 years of math. Most colleges are looking for 4 years of a laboratory science. State of New Jersey, only 3 years of a laboratory science are required. So these are just some considerations and discussions that we have with your child's high school counselor and your child as they come in to meet with us.
Right. And while we're talking about college admissions departments, it's also important to keep in mind that it's your child's responsibility to reach out to the college to see if the credits are transferable. There's some cases that they will take some credits and they won't take others. Some schools will take all of them and some schools may not take any. So if your child has an idea of where they would like to attend once they graduate, it's really important to reach out to those college admissions departments to see what courses are transferable, because that may help determine what courses your child decides to take, or even if they decide that they want to stay at MCST full-time and not do the college grade 12 option.
Right. And the rule of like what I've learned in dual enrollment is, colleges are businesses, families. You know this. If you don't know this, sorry to crush your dreams. Colleges are businesses. So most likely top tier colleges are not going to take courses that are high school graduation requirements because they consider it double dipping. So typically like a school like Fordham is not going to take English 1 and English 2 because it's a graduation requirement for us in high school. So that's just kind of a rule of thumb. So number 10 just kind of sums it all up. We expect your child to be the best. We know that they're not perfect, and we will be here to support you every step of the way. I am going to put back our video so we could, here we are. So we do want to thank you, and please know that we are here to support you. We are here to support your child. We work in collaboration with the entire guidance department to make sure that this transition is a great learning experience that'll carry like a lifetime of fantastic just skills and experiences and all of it. So thank you,
Thank you.
and we'll be seeing you.
We'll be in
Yes,
touch.
take care.